Well, in the U.S., the Supreme Court has cleared the way for Idaho hospitals to provide emergency abortions for now. The ruling comes one day after the opinion was accidentally posted on the court's website before quickly being taken down. CBC's Richard Madden is with us from Washington. So, Richard, tell us more about this ruling and how the justices came to their decision.
Well, we got a sneak peek of it yesterday when they accidentally posted it on their website. Just a tremendous blunder by the High Court. But today they made it official. This is a significant decision and a bit of a win for the Biden administration that argued federal law supersedes state abortion bans, and in this case, in Idaho. Now, the High Court has allowed abortions to be performed in case of emergencies, not just when pregnant women's lives were at risk, because what was happening before in Idaho is that doctors could not perform emergency abortions and women had to be airlifted out of state for the procedure, because under Idaho's law, anyone who performs an abortion would face criminal charges, including up to 5 years in prison, and they could lose their medical license. So this decision means emergency abortions can be performed in Idaho for now, but the court basically punted it back down to the lower court, so we could still see another legal challenge down the road. Now, zoom out a little bit. Ever since the conservative-leaning Supreme Court overturned federal protections 2 years ago, at least 14 Republican-led states have banned the procedure. Other states have imposed restrictions, causing mass confusion and several messy legal challenges. It's turned women's reproductive rights into a major political issue. And speaking of which, we're still waiting for its ruling on what could be the court's most consequential decision affecting the election. And that is whether Donald Trump is immune from criminal prosecution over his alleged role leading up to January 6th. But today's abortion decision, significant nonetheless.
Richard, how are these Supreme Court rulings, especially that abortion one, which has been a key campaign issue, how is it likely to play into the big debate that will be happening tonight between President Biden and Donald Trump?
Yeah, I think we're going to hear about it significantly. President Joe Biden, as you know, is making abortion rights central to his campaign. So this decision gives him a fresh storyline to attack his challenger, Donald Trump. Expect Biden to likely blame him for stacking the Supreme Court that led to the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the chaos that since followed. Former President Trump, on the other hand, has taken credit for the ruling, and he's been applauded by pro-life social conservatives for returning abortion laws back to the states. So this is really another example of the stark contrast between these two leaders in the first presidential debate of this election cycle, the earliest debate in U.S. history, and a debate between the oldest presidential candidates to face off. Women's rights, economic anxieties, and immigration expected to be major themes. But beyond the policy differences, there are other factors that many voters will be watching for: age, fitness for office, and temperament. Take a listen.
In this case, we have one candidate, Donald Trump, where people are going to be looking a lot about questions of character, and one in President Biden that people are going to be looking a lot about questions of competence.
So the big question, will Trump fly off the handle? Will Biden lose his train of thought? These are some of the questions that's being posed by the punditry here. Now, both Biden and Trump are raising expectations on each other, and the debate itself is taking place in the key swing state of Georgia, where Trump faces separate criminal charges of election interference for trying to overturn the last election.
So much to watch out for. Richard, this is CBC's Richard Madden in Washington.